Namaste everyone, and on behalf of everyone, please accept our sincerest pranams, Maharaj, and welcome to the fourth session of Four Seekers of God. And I will now request Malavika to start to do the peace chant, please.
Om Shang No Mitra Shang Varunaha Shang No Bhavattaryama Shang Na Indro Brihaspatihi Shang No Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayu Tvameva Pratakshang Brahmasi Tvameva Pratakshang Brahma Vadishyami Dhritam Vadishyami Sattang Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Malavika. And Maharaj, please take over.
Let us start our session with our Guru Pranam sloka. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Harihi Om Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. As Juma has welcomed every one of you, and I'm so happy to meet everyone at this hour of the day. Here, Yelagiri is having a very fine weather for the last 2-3 days. Very good rains we had, and where the summer has gone, we do not know. So beautiful weather now. So we are continuing the study of a book called For Seekers of God. Some people write the title as Seekers of God. No, it is not Seekers of God. It is For Seekers of God. So there's a slight difference by adding the word for. Because what the teachings that we get in this book by or from Swami Mahapurush Maharaj, as we call Swami Shivananda ji, is all these teachings are meant for the seekers. Seekers means what? Seekers means jigyashu. Jigyashu is the word is used in Vedanta. Those who have a great desire to know, desire to learn, and desire to experiment, desire to find out what is the actual truth. So that seekers, they are called seekers. Aspirants, we use another word as spiritual aspirants. We use that word also. So the Seekers of God is a very beautiful book, and it is actually privately read, and people experience lot of help from that book. And then later, our mission started thinking, though most of the teachings are talkings with the monastics in this book is covered, but later some more additions were also made where the devotees' discussions also were included. So it is now very beautiful book for any spiritual seeker who has already taken initiation and who is in the path of progress. So we are taking this book, and I would request Prithvish to start reading the book. Para by para we are going. So we are not taking the entire chapter first reading. That means 30 minutes will go even reading itself. Then we won't have time to discuss. So let us take a para by para. Each para you'll read, and if any point to be clarified or explained, we shall do so. And once the para reading is over, after my explanation, if you have anything to say, you can raise your hand, and Jumadni will monitor who wants to speak or not. Okay? So we shall have with this understanding, we shall proceed now. Yes, Pratish.
Okay, Pranam Maharaj. So I am reading from the chapter 2. The place is Belur Monastery, time Saturday, December 21st, 1920. The evening descended slowly upon a hushed world. It was a full moonlight. The bells and gongs of distant temples and of the Belur monastery started chiming, announcing the hour of evening service. When the monks and the devotees of the monastery, in a spirit of devotion, started going to the chapel, Swami Shivananda also went, as was his daily custom. After bowing before the altar, he sat upon a deerskin in the southeast corner of the chapel. His hands were folded and his eyes indrawn. Maharaj,
Very beautiful, yes, beautiful beginning of this chapter, second chapter. We already read the first chapter, and the last paragraphs of the first chapter touch certain points regarding Shraddha ceremony. So the last class of ours was devoted to the Shraddha and explanation of Shraddha ceremony. That itself took whole 1.5 hours time with discussion. So I don't want to repeat any of those points here. Let us start afresh with the second chapter itself. So the chapter begins with giving a beautiful atmosphere before our eyes, so that when we read the book, we must be able to create that atmosphere when we are reading. So that's why Sri Mo, that is Sri M. Mahendranath Gupta, in his writing of the Gospel, you find the descriptive explanation about the situation where Sri Ramakrishna was living, where Swamiji was there. So those descriptive explanations are very necessary. You may think, why this type of blah blahs, as they call it? No, it is not blah blah. It is all necessary for our thinking or doing the Charitra Dhyan. The Charitra Dhyan also is one of the methods to put our mind solely on the object of our devotion. So if you are devoted to Sri Ramakrishna or Holy Mother Swamiji, then what we should do in our spare time, after our meditation is over, Shivananda he was very, very fond of telling the devotees and monks, the moment your meditation is completed, you pay obeisance to your Guru and tell him, oh Lord, because of your great grace that I am able to do meditation for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. After that, don't get up suddenly and plunge yourself into work. How the mind has to slowly come up, and the mind has to go inside, and how do you bring it out? So this is what we are learning from him. So he says, so this importance of this situation comes here only. So when we think of Swami Shivananda sitting in the Belur mat, what is the Belur mat time? It was in the evening time, Arati time. So Arati time, all the brahmacharis and others devotees who have come to visit Belur mat, they are all going towards the chapel. Chapel means our temple. So the temple, they are all going. And at that time, what was the condition? They were all in a spirit of devotion. Shivananda also was moving towards that. That it is his daily custom. Every day, so long he is in Belur mat, he would never miss the Arati time. That's why we all say, the moment you get, 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the evening, your mind must naturally aspire to get into the Arati mood. So immediately you should think. There are Swami Gautamananji Maharaj, I am telling you how beautifully, exactly at 6:30, wherever he is, even the traveling time, he will put on the Arati song, Khandana Bhava Bandhana. And you would imagine that he is before Sri Ramakrishna and witnessing the Arati. So that practice must come. So he used to go every day, and today also he has gone there. And then, bowing before the altar, he took his seat. His hands were folded and his eyes indrawn. This is the situation we are going to see, how he comes out from that dhyana state and what he is going to talk to us. Yes, proceed.
Okay, the next paragraph.
I have a question, Maharaj.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. So here it is mentioned that he took seat in the southeast corner. So does that have any special significance while meditating?
No. See, this was the chapel before the construction of the Belur Math main temple. Those who have visited Belur Math, they would know there is a big temple of Sri Ramakrishna is there. And behind that, if you go little inside, then there is a chapel. So that is called Old Mandir, Old Temple. The old temple where he was gone. But where he took his seat, there he could directly see Sri Ramakrishna being performed Arati. And that also, his back is next to the wall that is there. Actually, it's a very small area. You will all know that. Those who have visited, they remember. It's a small area. So in that area, he has stand there. It is southeast corner of the chapel is nothing to do with this, any disha or anything at this present.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, somebody else has a question.
Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
I told you, after every para reading out, then after my explanation, you can ask the questions. Yes.
There is someone, you have to unmute yourself to ask. It is coming up as unknown. The name is not there. Do you have a question? Or Nandini has a question? No.
Sorry,
by mistake, is it? Okay, and okay, I think it's by mistake the hand has been raised. I think we can proceed, Maharaj.
Okay.
Okay, I will then read the next paragraph. The evening service began. Its solemn music and the serene presence of the Swami helped the concentration of who were present. The offering of lights to the Master was followed by the singing of hymns, in which the Swami joined. After the singing, the monks bowed before the Master and one by one moved to their respective seats for meditation. Swami Shivananda closed his eyes and became absorbed, his peaceful face bespeaking the depth of his meditation. He remained in that condition for a long time. That's the second paragraph over, Maharaj.
Thank you. So, the main point to be observed from this paragraph is this, that the solemn music and the serene presence of the Swami, two items is mentions. The Arati song is a wonderful song. In music, it was written by Swami Vivekananda, and the music was set also by Swami Vivekananda. The music and the tal is a very rare tal used in classical music, Hindustani music. That tal was used for that. And it's a very gambhira, very majestic song. This Khandana Bhavabandhana is a very majestic song. And that song goes very slow pattern. When in Belur Math you will see, because we do not have time in other centers, we run fast. And then we finish in at one go. But in Belur Math it is not done so. The first few minutes of the 6 paragraphs, 6 stanzas were sung in a slow motion, that is slow mode. And after that, the same thing is sung second time in a fast mode. So in slow mode and fast mode, when you do that, we are able to know at that time that yes, this song can sink into our mind. Many times we sing, we are not even aware what we sang, the time has passed on. Like that it happens because mind is here and there moving out. So the serene atmosphere, the presence of the Swami. If a Swami himself is sitting there, how wonderful it is. In Arati time, that's why when in Chennai Math I have heard from the devotees, Maharaj, wherever Swami Gautamaji goes out, we know that he has gone out for this function, that function, etc. But when he comes back and sits in the chair, that is enough for us. Oh, he is there. The same thing I have heard from the Durban devotees also. they would say, Maharaj, you simply sit there. That is enough for us. That you are there. It is like a feeling given to you that father is sitting somewhere or a grandpa is sitting somewhere. And then you are very sanguine that everything is going on well like that. So that type of a thing comes, feeling comes. So that is what all the Swamis, and they all felt that. The concentration comes only when the mind goes indrawn. So now the Arati is over, meditation time has come. Each one took his asana. We say that whenever we come to a shrine, we must carry our asana. Sometimes the asanas are kept in many of our centers in Ranchi. What we have done is, in the temple itself, in the hall itself, at one place, we have kept all the asanas folded. And when the devotees come, they can take the asana and sit. But some devotees are very, very peculiar and very particular about sitting on which asana. So they will say, the green asana I would like to have. Some will say, I want a red color asana. So different colors of asana we keep it. So that each one according to his state of mind that he can take it. And also that some devotees bring their own asana. That is also a reason for that. That if somebody has sat in the asana and then you are doing japa on that, your mind may get distracted because of the previous person who sat there. So one asana should be kept for each. In the houses, we always advise our devotees, keep an asana for you which need not be shared with others. Keep extra asana for others who want to use asana. Otherwise, you use one asana. So that's how it is done. So all the monks took those asana and then they sat for the meditation. And the Swami Shivananda closed his eyes and became absorbed, he says. Anything to say on this paragraph?
Maharaj, one question. The 1920, that means these. So this will include some of the direct disciples as well as new brahmacharis or others as
Yes.
Their devotees as well.
Correct. But some of the direct disciples have passed away also at that time. But many boys had joined before that 1920. Till 1920, Swami Brahmananji was the president. And after that, only Swami Shivananda comes. So many boys have joined and they have become monks also in the meantime. So 9 years, our rule says that Swamiji made certain rules how to include or inculcate these type of ideas of renunciation. So for that he framed rules of the mud. So accordingly, 9 years a brahmachari has to spend his days as a brahmachari in any ashram. And after the 9th year of his training is over, then if he is found fit, then he is empowered to have the sannyasa ceremony. So likewise, there are people who are there not less than, except the new brahmacharis, you will find all the swamis are, above 30 years only. Generally, we get 30 years, 21, 22, if anybody joins also, 9 years will be over. So after 30 years, the 30-year youngsters only would be living there. So that type of new monks are also there.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, proceed.
Okay. I'm going to the next paragraph. At about 8:30, the Swami arose and returned to his room, humming a devotional song indicative of inward joy. His voice was unusually sweet and full of divine love. Some monks and devotees had been waiting in his room to pay their respects to him. After the exchange of greetings, all took seats. There was comparative silence in the room. No one felt inclined to break it by speaking. Then slowly a conversation began, which turned up on spiritual practice.
Yes, nothing to add in this paragraph. Everything is clear cut.
Okay, then I'll move
We
to
can proceed to the next paragraph.
Swami Shivananda, still in an abstracted meditative state, said, "Night is the ideal time for spiritual practice. Meditation and japa should be performed regularly with great devotion. They purify the mind. Continued for some time, regular practice of this kind is conducive to the establishment of a constant spiritual mood, giving one a taste of inner joy. A person should not leave his seat immediately after meditation, but should sit for a while thinking about the object of his meditation. Then he may recite prayers and hymns along similar lines to intensify and stabilize the meditative mood and inner joy. Even after leaving his seat, he should not talk with anyone, but should rather be contemplative and remain by himself for some time. Practice like this fosters a continuous undercurrent of meditation, helping to keep the mind on a high level and bringing to the heart great joy. That was
Yes,
the.
beautiful. Yes, beautiful paragraph. Because Swami Shivananda, after completion of his meditation, he now opens his mouth and starts speaking. Where he has already come to his room. After the meditation over in the chapel, he has gone back to his room where the devotees and some monks were waiting for him to do pranam. So he is the president of the mutt, so they came and did pranam to him. And then after the exchange of greetings, they all took seats. There was a contemplative silence at the time. No one was daring enough to ask any question or break the silence because everybody came from the temple and they are all seated there, so silently sitting and enjoying the undercurrent of the meditative flow that is happening there. Now he says, when he opened his mouth, what he said, he started telling, night is the ideal time for spiritual practice. We have been hearing from many great men that what time we should do japa and what time is the best time for doing meditation. So one very familiar answer that we get. What is that familiar answer? Anybody can say?
Early
The
morning.
familiar answer.
Early morning.
Sir, Maharaj, Brahma Muhurta?
Yes, very good. Thank you. Very early, that's what she said, early morning, before the sun breaks out. So the Brahma Muhurta time is the best time in the daytime, and likewise the Sandhya time is the best time for thinking about God. That is what we are all known. But what here we are finding here Shivananda Maharaj adds to that. He does not deny those times, but he adds here, night is the ideal time for spiritual practice. How can a night be the ideal time? Night is the time for the body's rest. The whole day we are working, we are moving here and there, and the night is the time when the body can recoup and it requires rest. So at that time, I have to get up from the rest, leaving the rest, and then engage in spiritual practice. Will it not be disturbing that circadian rhythm? Will it be useful for me? How it is going to help me in the spiritual practice? So there only we have to come to understand what Swami Shivananda is telling here. Night is the ideal time, he says. Ideal time, there are two types of timings are being discussed in our scriptures, particularly in Tantra scriptures. Tantra, Tantra Shastra is a great big load, and that Tantra Shastra, I got many types of ideas that has been woven together in that place. So, though the Brahma Muhurta as well as the evening Sandhya time, both are ideal for thinking of God, they say they are only give you a recollection of God. These timings are how do they help us? They help us to recollect the God's thought. Because other times we are not thinking about God. Other times we are thinking of so many other things. We have to, day-to-day engagements are there. We are working people. So school we are going, college for studying. So many types of professional things are going on. So it is not possible to recollect God's presence with me at that any time. So these two times, Brahma Muhurta as well as the Sandhya evening time, mind is automatically calms down. At that time, it is better to approach God. So approaching God at that time becomes very easy. That's why these two timings are used. But Tantra Shastra says night is a better time than these two timings. Why it is better time? Night is the time most of the people go for sleep. That means the chanchala of the each mind, which contributes to the total chaos of the in thought world, is reduced much because people go into sleep. So when I am there alone and I see that several people in my house have gone into sleep, then I get up, sit in my bed under the mosquito net and start doing japa. You find a great taste for japa comes. So for spiritual practice, night is considered as better. And not that also, there are two types of period is divided. A month period is divided into Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. Shukla Paksha is the time when the moon starts becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. So from Amavasya onwards, it reaches to the full moon, that is Purnima. And in Krishna Paksha, the full moon starts reducing slowly. That is waning, we say, waning and waxing. So this waning time, it goes to the Amavasya day. So now you see this Krishna Paksha time, particular night times during the Krishna Paksha are considered as very, very auspicious. Particularly in Devi Upasana, this night Upasana is considered as very famous. In Tantra says that night is the ideal time. That is what he is telling here. Meditation and japa should be performed regularly with great devotion. They purify the mind, he says. Anyone can tell me, I have told this secret of doing japa for a long time. How do they purify the mind? Anybody who has heard it remembers? How doing the japa purify the mind? Japa is nothing but a repetition of the mantra that has been given to me by Guru's grace. Guru has given me a mantra and that mantra I am repeating. By repeating the mantra, how it is going to purify my mind?
Swamiji, one second. அது நம்ம மைண்டுக்குள்ள ரிப்பீட்டடா அது இருந்துட்டே இருக்கும்போது அந்த ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் எனர்ஜி உள்ள ஃப்ளோ ஆகும் சுவாமிஜி. மைண்ட் வந்து காடோட டைரக்ட் கனெக்ட்ல இருக்கும்.
So from Kanchipuram, Rajeshwari is talking. She says, she told me in Tamil, of course, and she says she understands English very well, and anyway she wants me to translate. So she says by thinking of japa, by doing of japa, the mind goes inward and then it gets connected to God. When God comes into the mind, then the mind is released, or the mind is devoid of the thoughts that are arising in the mind. And thoughts are of two types. One is good type of thoughts and bad type of thoughts. So good type of thoughts align with the godly thoughts, and bad type of thoughts, they fly away from there. So Sri Ramakrishna says that it is the purification of the subconscious mind takes place if you do japa a lot. That is what necessary. The best example for that is given is that ink bottle. Not the present day ink bottle we are not seeing nowadays, but in my school days and college days we have used the ink bottle. And the ink bottle, once the ink is exhausted in the bottle, it will leave the stain in the bottle, inside. And the instruction is, if you take that ink bottle, small bottle, and keep it under the tap water, the tap water flows into the bottle and water comes out. And while coming out, it brings the stain also from there. And within a few seconds, the bottle is crystal clear. So they say the mind is like a chitta. That chitta is called a dish. It is a container where the manas vrittis are there. Manas, chitta, manas and buddhi and ahankara. These four are belonging to the as components of our sukshma sharira, of our mind. What is mind? Mind has got these parts are there. So these are not separate four items. Don't think the chitta, mana, buddhi, ahankara are four items. They are not four items. On same principle, when it functions, it takes this name. So chitta is like a container where the chitta vrittis, they go on there. So in the subconscious mind, our mind has got lots and lots of bad thoughts lurking there. In the moment you put together all the necessary atmosphere, the bad thoughts are ready to jump upon like tigers, as Swamiji says. The bad thoughts, they will come jump like tigers. But if you keep the good thoughts, the japa, what it does, the mechanism japa is that it goes on in the conscious mind, and while doing the conscious mind, and particularly in the night time when everything is quiet, at that time the japa mechanism enters into the subconscious mind. And in the subconscious mind, the stains of bad thoughts are there. As I told you, the ink stain in the bottle. Then the japa is the pouring of the fresh water into the chitta container, and the bad thoughts as stains are removed. That's why it's called, it purifies the mind. Japa, actually we are supposed to do japa all the time. But even if you cannot do all the time, can you separate some moments in your day and do the japa? So he says it purifies the mind. Likewise, if you go on, continue to do for some time, then it gives you establishment of a constant spiritual mood, says. A spiritual mood is generated, no doubt. When we attend a temple, a song or something, we come out, we say, what a wonderful mood was that today. And then when you go and take a bus and go into the bus, sit there, and then argue with the conductor, etc. happens, then you find all those good mood is gone. So, what is the purpose of spiritual life? The spiritual life purpose is to continue the godly thoughts, the good mood as they call it. The constant spiritual mood has to be kept up. How do we constantly keep it? The method is to continue to do japa. If you do the continuation of the japa, then the spiritual mood can be kept constantly. That gives a great inner joy. Many people ask me, what is inner joy? Anybody? Kandi from Malaysia? What is inner joy?
Is it bliss?
You have to unmute.
I said, is it bliss?
Yes, bliss is another term for joy. But what is bliss, then I will have to ask.
Everything is, whatever we see is the oneness with the God. That is the inner bliss.
No, that is not inner joy. What is inner joy?
We feel a peaceful state of mind.
Peaceful state of mind. That means that restlessness is gone. Is it not, Sarojini?
Yes.
It is Anandam, Maharaj. It is Anandam.
Yes. So, joy can be obtained two ways. The first joy, we all know that. That is physical, through the 5 sense organs, we get joy. If I see a good scenery, I feel joyful. Likewise, if I eat nice food, I feel joyful. If I like that 5 pancha indriya, so all the 5 indriyas can bring joy to us. Likewise, these are all outer joys. The very term inner joy means there is some joy outer also. So outer joy only our mind generally goes back and then they go into. But inner joy is where the sense organs stop their activities. We think that by seeing a good scenery, I get joy. Suppose I close my eyes and still I get joy, then that is called inner joy. That is without the help of the five sense organs, a joy that you derive, that is called inner joy. So that inner joy is also the result of a constant meditation, he says. So,
Maharaj, does that link to being successfully able to keep the pranamaya kosh, uh, like getting them, taking the focus to the pranamaya kosh, not the
yes,
annamaya kosh?
that you are bringing another dimension of our discussion, that is a Jnana Yoga dimension. Now we are not here talking about the Jnana Yoga dimension.
Okay.
This Japa and Dhyana, strictly speaking, technically belonging to Raja Yoga tradition. Okay. So that also we can take up later when it comes. But what I'm meaning is here, this prana is only a helpful tool for concentration in Raja Yoga. So prana is not going to give you joy, but the result of the practice of the japa and meditation is the obtainment of the joy, inner joy. That is what he says. That for getting inner joy, there may be hundreds of methods. No doubt about that. Yes,
Maharaj,
yes.
Maharaj, Mr. Chatterjee wants to ask you something.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Maharaj, namaskar. Maharaj, I want to say that when we do japa, actually we try to calm our mind first. The calming of the mind can be done by any name, so any god's name, even Durga, this thing. But we are being told that you have to do the Ishta's name. So why Ishta's name is because that we are initiated with a mantra, and that is a Bij mantra which has been given by Thakur himself. So the calming of the mind has to be done by constantly uttering the mantra, and that too with the Bij mantra, where the positive energy puts inside my mind, and then it calms mind and connect me to my Ishta. So that is my explanation of this thing. Am I correct or not? And second, this thing is, you just mentioned that as per Tantra, nighttime meditation is good. And you also mentioned that within the mosquito net and etc., you sit down and start doing japa. So that is my question, is the practical question. Always do I have to go to my prayer room and do in the night 2 o'clock I get up? So should I go to the prayer room again and leave my clothes and this, like the way the guru has advised that you change your clothes and freshen yourself and then you go to, or we can do it inside the mosquito net as it is just get up and then start your japa accordingly. So these are the two things I want to know from you.
Very good. Thank you, Pranam Chatterjee. Good questions. And regarding first question, I will tell you, what you said is principally is okay. There's nothing wrong in that. Your opinion is okay, I will tell you. But what I want to add is that we are here talking about the resultant force or the result, the phala of my constant japa and meditation is what? Is to gain that inner joy. That is what here Shivananda Maharaj speaks. Not about the process, not about the thing. He says that the result we will get is the inner joy we will get. That what is inner joy? I explained to you. Inner joy is devoid of contact with the five senses with the outside world. The sense organs return back. Sense organs are not functioning. I am closing my eyes. I am not seeing anything outside. I am not hearing from outside because I am concentrating my mind on the Ishta. And I am not using my mouth also in eating, etc. So all my five senses are now stopped working. I am not utilizing any of my five senses going outside. So there is a joy even then. Without the help of the five senses, I am able to get a joy inside, and that is called inner joy.
Maharaj, by itself, we feel a sense of content. When you come out of the prayer room, you feel a sense of joy within, which you cannot exactly explain due to what. Why I'm feeling so happy, I cannot explain, but I'm happy inside.
Yes,
and I look around the world with a sense of happiness, and the people I look with the happiness. So is that the correct.
Yes, that is inner joy. You have already got the inner joy. That's why you cannot express it. Inner joy cannot be expressed in terms of words. There are no words. Yatra vacho nivartante taddama paramam mama, he says. Krishna says, where the vacha, where the words return back, they cannot even reach that place. That place is mine, he says. So that is the higher stage of meditation. Now he says, when you finish your second question, I'm coming to you, that yes, in the night, you don't need to do all such preliminary preparations as advised by your Guru. Guru has said, twice in a day, you have to do japa. At that time, the niyamita bhave, bola vachana in Bangla, at the correct right time that you have to do, at that time, you have to follow those rules and regulations. But suppose you are sitting in a bus, are you taking Ganga Jal with you? You can go on doing japa. Likewise, in our house also, the night when you get up in your own bed, you can, under the mosquito net, you can definitely do your japa. There is no obstruction to that. Now he says, immediately, okay, yes, Nandini?
Maharaj, extension of the same question, Maharaj, in a reverse way. Is it okay if we can do the japa in our shrine room in the night if possible, Maharaj? Because that gets the mood better for me. But sometimes I think night we say good night to God and he'll be sleeping. We should not disturb him like that. So that will again disturb my japa time. If like I'm getting up and doing in my bed itself, I get to sleep. I get sleep. But if I go to puja room, I feel better. So is it okay to disturb like that, Maharaj, the God in the night?
Okay, I'll tell you regarding that, because you have come to now Bhakti Yoga you have come. So I will have to speak now from the Bhakti Yoga angle. So what is happening is here, see, several people in their homes, they have got small shrines, or in the shelf they keep. When we were children in our homes, we have seen that all the gods and goddesses pictures are all kept where in a shelf only. There is a separate shelf allotted for that. So you keep all those things. And then what they do is, in some houses, especially Vaishnava origin houses, I'm pointing out to you where this system is practiced. If the Vaishnava origin house practices is that before going to sleep, you put the Lord into sleep. If you have a Krishna Vigraha, you will say, hey Krishna, go to sleep now. And then put him to sleep and then you go. So, in that case, coming to the shrine and opening the door and opening the screen, and then these disturbances should not be done. Not be done. Because there is a particular time for the gods to get up and to grace you. So, in Bhakti Yoga we say, that type of things should not be done. At that condition, in that condition I'm telling you, in your bed you can do it. But if there is no such practice in your home, the putting the Lord into sleep, etc., and it is only a almirah or shelf, and the shelf is always open, you don't have the ritualistic way of dealing with the God, then you can definitely go to that place, sit there and do it. Yes, that will create the atmosphere, as you say. I agree with you. But the only thing you have to find out whether that type of practice is there in your tradition. If it is in tradition, okay, do it. If it is not,
it is not traditional, Maharaj. Like in our mind alone, if we say good night to God, like all that, and again, is it okay, Maharaj?
No, I'm telling ritualistically. Do you do that ritualistically?
No ritual like that, Maharaj.
Okay, then you can definitely go there and sit and do your japa. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Yes.
Maharaj Sarojini,
yes.
That japa, if you do continuously, that will give us type of joy or instead of joy, I never thought it is joy. It was something serene, mind is without thought, that itself is a peace. But to get the inner joy, we should reach the state of dharana. That is, then only we will be devoid of the body or the sense organs for few seconds or something like that. That's what I understand. Is it?
No, you can. Yes, your understanding is nothing bad in that or nothing wrong, because the Swami Shivananda says here, the result of that practice is inner joy. Now, when the practice is being done and to get the result, there is a big long journey, and in that journey, one of dharana etc. comes under one of the methods. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
If there is nothing, then we can proceed to the next panel.
Malavika has a question, I think.
Bharat, does the bad thought have particular affinity to remain in subconscious? Where does those good thoughts stay? Like they just vanish?
Oh, no. The good thoughts are there, bad thoughts are there. Both are there in the chittam. Chittam, as I say, it's a container. Think of the container. So the chittam in both are there. When godly thoughts are being consciously remembered by you, at that time what happens in the chitta? There is a change happens. The good thoughts align with the godly thoughts. And the bad thoughts no more can stay there. So they have to go. Where do they go? Do they vanish? No. They go much deeper. In the unconscious level they go. So they are not in the subconscious level. So subconscious level is getting purified, and later when a person reaches the stage of ajapa japa, a state of ajapa japa as it is called, at that time only, that only make the unconscious state also cleaning. So that will take long time and long process. But for the present, in this life, if we can clear our subconscious mind of the bad thoughts, that itself is a great, I should say, achievement in our spiritual life.
Maharaj, when from the memory, something, or the old memory of worldly things, I mean, other than the God, it will come, it happened like that, like this, immediately just push it aside. That will do, no, Maharaj?
Where you will push it aside? With what?
I mean, stop thinking. I mean, that thought is coming, but not getting identified with that.
Yes. So
because the thought will be coming.
Correct. Your mind has got all these thoughts. The thoughts come up. And then how do you put it aside? You cannot put aside. Unless your mind shifts its focus from that thought to godly thought.
That's what. So in between that, from memory, don't want that worldly thought, past, nothing. I want only the thought of God, na? Yes. But it will come. So that time, just come back. That's all.
Come back. That's all. So focus, you shift it.
Yes.
But in such case, Maharaj, we can do this alternate things like japa and meditation. Japa and meditation, like when the meditation breaks, we get into the japas to bring back the meditational mood. Yes. And then, like, alternatively, can we do this?
You can do it. That's why he says, once the meditation is over, don't just get up and go away and start talking about politics. You see, that will only diffuse your mental concentration. So let the concentration be there for some more time, he says, and then do recite some prayers and hymns along with similar lines. Similar lines means what? Suppose I am worshipping Narayana. Then when I get up from the meditation, I should take up a Narayana Stotra. Or if I am worshipping Divine Mother Durga, then I should sing some songs on Mother Durga. So aligning with the ideal of that you practice with that, you start reciting some prayers and hymns, and then stabilize the meditative mood and inner joy, he says. So that is how the stabilization comes. Otherwise, mind will be diffusive. It will go away here and there. You will not be able to keep up the mood of meditation in other times. So what he says is, practice like this, continuous practice like this, fosters a continuous undercurrent of meditation. So you are not visible as if you are doing meditation. You are actually working in the kitchen After the meditation morning, you go to the kitchen and preparing breakfast for your children and for your husband and for you. At that time, what happens? In the kitchen, you are alone. Nobody is disturbing you. And at that time, the undercurrent of meditation will be there. So that will not go away. Your mind will not be immediately coming out through these five senses. So undercurrent of meditation, how that can help us? It can help us to keep the mind on a high level and bringing to the heart great joy. So high level keeping the mind is really a very, very difficult task. Swami Madhavananji Maharaj used to say that after the meditation, recite some songs, sing some song, and then come out. And then, if you want to study books, take some books on spiritual life. Say stories of saints, like that. Not about thoughts or Vedanta, etc. I am Brahman, etc. Don't do that. That will only spoil the mood. So, read some stories of Nayanmars, stories of Alvars, stories of saints and sages. At that time, mind will slowly come down. And he says, even after that, mind should not be allowed to go much down to the sensory level. For that, what you should do, you can read like great novels, he says. The novels written by great literary giants. They have written. So Pickwick Papers, you can read. Or you can read some what you call, the books of Woodhouse, P.G. Woodhouse. Those books will keep you at a higher level. This is why your mind suddenly it does not go down. So you keep up such good books and then start reading, he says. That is one way of keeping the mind somewhere at a higher level. So a spiritual aspirant must clearly understand that he is meant for keeping his mind at a higher level. Never allow the mind to come down to the lower level at any cost. We should not do that. Anything else?
Maharaj, inner joy is samadhi.
The one answer is no. One word answer. No. Inner joy is not samadhi. In samadhi, you must understand, your mind does not exist. After the samadhi, coming down from samadhi, you may feel the inner joy representing the samadhi, but that samadhi is not equivalent to inner joy. Because who feels the inner joy? That mind itself is not there. In samadhi, you are no more there. So the second person is not there. Only when the mind comes down from the samadhi, it feels that inner joy. Anyone? Yes, Lipika.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Is on now. Would you like to say something?
Nandini wants to say something, Maharaj.
Okay. She's still driving, I think, by one hand and raising hand by another.
Maharaj, if we get some free time in between, if we do japa during that time, apart from the one we do in the morning and evening, even in that in between time, some 10-15 minutes, if we get, if we do japa, even that time also we need to spend extra time for while we come out of the japa doing recital of hymns.
No, not that. This is
not
only, not that. So he says, this is when you do japa and stay in the meditative stage of meditation, and then you come down. At that time, he says to practice, but not all those intermittent times. You see, when you are sitting, suppose you are sitting in your clinic and one patient has gone, and another patient has come. So the another patient may take another 10 minutes to get. So that 10 minutes time, you can easily do your japa. Like that, intermittently doing japa also is a good practice to get a continuous japa later. That will help us.
Thank you.
So should I read the next paragraph then, Maharaj?
next paragraph, you see now only 3 minutes are there.
Right.
So what do you want to do? Because next paragraph is a question and an answer followed by Maharaj's answer. We'll keep it for the next class, I thought.
That's fine. That's good. So I was just going to ask that also. The question is one paragraph, 3 lines, but then there's a long answer to that.
A long answer is there, that so that can be kept for the next class. In the meantime, if any other thing that we read now regarding japa and meditation, if any other question is there, most welcome.
Actually, I could do japa during this session, Maharaj. That is, it was really, the mind has come to japa.
Yes. Oh, during this, I see.
Class. Yeah, because I was imagining that old temple, sitting, that serenity, all that Leela Dhyana like it came.
Yes. Yes. Charitra Dhyana or Leela Dhyana. It is called.
Now I can sit for another half an hour for japam. The mood has created by this class.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the timing also is very good in India. It is 5:30. Now we can go for the arati, etc. in 1 hour. So the mood will continue. That's good. Thank you. Any other comments or observation? If not, questions.
Maharaj, one observation on the passage that we read. So when we started the passage, I was thinking that it's only the monks who are present. But gradually towards the second, third paragraph, realized there are devotees as well.
Yes.
So the practice will be that the devotees will be in the shrine, or they will be in what were they will in Swami Shivananda ji's quarters or there. So they.
For the devotees practice, you mean?
No, what I'm saying is that the devotees used to come to the shrine for the arati and then follow him to his quarters.
Yes. One follow him so that they can do pranam to President Swami. It is a very natural course, when President Swami is available in the ashram. So you go there and make pranam to him after the arati.
Okay.
Yes. Because they come once in a day and the evening they have come for the arati. So they should meet the sadhu. So the tradition is that the head of the center remains available for the devotees after the arati is over.
And one unrelated question. So when will the Swamis have their dinner?
In Belurmat, it is 9:20, we get the bell.
Okay, so by that time...
Actually, people do not feel like eating unless they hear the bell. We have become Pavlov's dogs.
Okay, so Arati and then Chandrani has a question.
Pranam Maharaj. Maharaj, should we chant the hymns and stotras before doing japam or after doing japam?
That's a good question. Yes. If you have time before sitting for japam, if you have time, you can definitely chant that. But after doing japam, how the mind has to be kept immediately, it doesn't come down to the sensory level, just to avoid that. So Swami Shivananda is advising us to recite these hymns and sing songs, etc. is only for that purpose. So if you can do it earlier, what happens? The mind is more attuned. As just now Sarojini was telling that her mind now, she can now go and sit for meditation. She says after the class. So the mind is getting improved. So that also it can be, yes, it is one of the benefit of reciting hymns and singing bhajans. It is definitely a benefit.
Yes, Maharaj, because if I do it before doing the japam, then the mind is calm and that japam is done.
Yes, more it is getting attuned to the Ishta. But then after the japa and meditation done, immediately your mind should not fall down to the sensory level. There only Swami Shivananda says that keep reciting some hymns and songs, etc. That is a reason he is telling.
Thank you.
Yes, Pavitra.
Yes, Pranam Maharaj.
Pavitra is a devotee from, was a devotee, or is a devotee She was from Pondicherry. She is now shifted to New Zealand.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. It's been 10 days, Maharaj. 2 weeks.
Okay, tell me.
Yes, Maharaj. These sessions are really very useful for us, Maharaj. And your experience, and then you're telling like I used to go to Baswan Gudi Mat early morning, and then in Sharda Ma, there is where she did meditation. So you said you'll go in the early morning, so no one will be there that much crowd. So you went through there, and 12 pradakshina you used to do. So those things, even I got a thought I should go early. So when I visited Bangalore last time, I made a thought and I woke up early and I went myself around 7 o'clock, like that I reached there. And it was not that much crowd. So it was very blissful, Maharaj. I sat and chanted Saundarya Lahari 30 verses, sat there. And then it was very nice. And after I completed, Brahmachari Maharaj came and he opened the shrine. And he offered new flowers to Ma. I felt very happy and very satisfied.
Wonderful. Yes,
it is all because of the satsang, Maharaj. Seriously, otherwise we never get to know these things. These are some may think these are very small things, but it for some, like when we experience it, it gives a lot of joy and happiness and so much trust. Yeah.
Yes.
It was so nice,
Thank you, Pavitra, for sharing your experience.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yes, Nilanjana. Nilanjana is from Bangalore.
Pranam, Maharaj. I'll also share my experience. My Gurudev used to say that whenever you complete your japa and meditation, then you go for stotras and chantings, all these things. This, for me, is of great help.
Yes, definitely. So you know that already without reading this book also, because Gurudev has told you. Yes, all Gurus, explain to their devotees. Only thing, we do not properly listen to them. And we forget what they have told. Because the note-taking habit is not there with most of us. So what we do, we forget that. So it's very nice. Yes. Another person, what is the name? I did not understand. Avishanda or?
Yes, Maharaj, it is Avishanda.
Tell me.
Maharaj, I wanted to ask that what is the relevance of... Sorry, Maharaj, I have a sore throat. What is the relevance of Japa Samarpanam?
Japa Samarpanam is very important in our life, because when we do Japa and we finish Japa, so what we do is we try to do Japa and have the last feeling that I have done today 2016 times Japa. Does this feeling come to you? I'm not asking personally you, I'm asking anybody. So does this feeling come? Suppose you got a beautiful sitting and you had meditation and your mind becomes very calm and quiet. When you come out, today I had a beautiful meditation. Does this thought come to you? Such thoughts come. That means you are identified with the japa and karma. That karma you are identified. Now if I identify with the karma, good karma, the good phala will come to you. Okay, it's welcome. But in spiritual progress, even whether it is good phala or bad phala, both are to be avoided. As Swami Vivekananda says, because after all it may be a gold, but a golden chain is a chain only. So this ego is trying to attach at that time. That is why the japa samarpana is one of the important aspects that we are taught. That once you finish your 108 times japa and you want to get up, at that time what you should do? You have to offer the japa phala to your Ishtadevata. In that way, you disassociate your ego with the fruits of the action. So that is very important. Yes. Thank you for raising this. This is a very beautiful question.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Who wants to ask a question?
Swami,
yes.
May I? Am I audible? This is
Yes, you are
Enrique
audible.
speaking. This is Enrique speaking from Spain. Talking about joy, very briefly, I have felt a great joy to be with all of you. I want you, Swami, to thank you your invitation to be in a group, because I want to give my pranams and I give my greetings to all the people, and I thank you to have invited me to such wonderful sessions that it is very, very interesting for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for your observations. Yes, Enrique has given a beautiful observation. He had been to our place from Spain. He came to Yelegri. Of all the places, in India there are many places. I didn't expect him to come to Yelegri, and he came here, and then he felt very happy. He and his missus, she was also a wonderful lady, and she is a yoga specialist. So I had very good discussion with her on yoga.
Yeah. So about when you ask, I mean, I don't want to, because I knew that, and I'm like Paro-like when I'm talking, I feel like that. But when you say what is inner joy, to me maybe a dry definition, and sometimes come from kind of Vedantine thinker. This is the situation, the state where you anything can add you any kind more, any speck of joy. You feel purna. I don't know how to get that, but this is the situation I imagine. No? Nothing can give to me any speck of more joy, because I so satisfied. I didn't expect anything more.
Thank you. Thank you. See, the joy is finally that's what's going to stay with us. The other things are all coming and going. No, joy is what we require.
Thank you.
Thank you for your observations.
Maharaj, Prithvish, again, one question. So, maybe a stupid question. Why the japa cannot be uttered? Why it has to be silent in mind? The mantra.
Why you should not be?
Why you should not utter the mantra loud?
Oh, yes. Oh, why you should be silent? Okay, that's a question. That's also a good question we can discuss. You see, what words come out? I always say, this is also based on Tantra literature, where the words that come out from our mouth has got 3 other stages before the thought is converted into word. You take it, left side, thought is there. I want to drink water. The thought is there. But the thought has not become word. I felt thirsty. What is the first thing I feel? When the water need comes in the body, I feel thirsty. But I have not told anybody. So somebody is before me. So to him, I am now conveying, I want to drink water. These are the words representing the thought. Is it not? Yeah. So the thought level, the thought arises. That thought, when to come to a word level, that is in the verbal level, it undergoes 3 other stages. So they are all very deeply, who are interested, we can discuss in some other time. They see how the thought level transforms into different stages and then comes out finally as a word. There are many times you don't need to tell that you are thirsty. Seeing you somebody, the thought transference can happen from you to another person without even mentioning in words. The thought transference can happen. So that's how Sri Ramakrishna says, I have given everything to Swami Vivekananda. What does it mean? Vivekananda says, a guru can transfer the spirituality to another person, he says. How does he transfer? So by touch, by seeing, and by thought also. So thought also it can be transferred. So the thought level is absolutely very, very subtlest level. That thought, you can converse with another person or another jiva, another animal. With your pet dog, you can converse in that thought level without using any word. The pet will understand. Because thought level, the language does not come. Language is a big problem when words come out. If you are a Spanish-speaking person and if you don't know English, and when I say in English, you don't understand. Because the languages are different when the word comes. The word itself is based on the language. Now, in thought, is it based on the language? No. You may be born in Bengali, I may be born in Tamil, but I am thinking in Tamil, you may think in Bengali, but the Bengali and Tamil, these are the languages to bring out the words only. The three pre-stages of the words, those pre-stages, there is no language there.
Okay.
This is very important point, the contribution of the Tantra Shastra. So they say this original thought that arises has got no language, has got no dress, they call it. Euphemistically they speak. They say that thought has got no dress. The dress is the language. So without the language, a thought can come. You are sitting in Ireland, I am sitting in Yelagiri. You can pass on your thoughts to me. I can receive the thoughts. If both of our wavelengths are similar, we can meet in that wavelength. Then we can speak. In Ranchi sanatorium, I was there for 12 years, I used to get visitors and devotees like that. One Sardarji devotee, they used to come to us. And this Sardarji gentleman, he is very fond of Meher Baba. I do not know how many of you have heard about the saint Meher Baba. If you are in North India or in the Punjab side, you must have definitely heard this name. Meher Baba is very famous internationally. He has been to US, UK, etc. Internationally famous Baba. This Meher Baba he used to say that I am speaking with those seekers of God, with the aspirants in different countries in the night time, he used to say. And the Sardarji would ask his guru, that is Meher Baba, तो बाबा कैसा होता है ये? आप किससे बात करते हैं? तो कल हमने इंडिया में एक जन से बात किया, like that he would say. So this Sardarji used to get surprised, and he say, how do you speak like that? He says, for thought, language is not no more as a crutch. For thought transference, language is not needed. So this is a great truth in our scriptures, it is there. So the thought level, when you go there, you don't need the language. So what was your question?
My question was why the mantra I have to tell in
yes,
my...
Now I'm coming to that. Yes. Now, why in the thought level, if you want to go beyond the language, the mantra is in Sanskrit language. Beyond the language, you have to go. So what you should do, you have to cut off your 5 sense organs going outside. So mouth is one. Mouth has got 2 functions, one for speaking and one for eating. While other 4 organs have got single purpose. Only mouth has got 2 purposes. It eats as well as it speaks. So when it is speaking, your mind goes outside. So language makes your mind taking out. That is what language does. That's how the words come out. So when words are not there, when you think inside without sound, making sound, then what happens? The mantra goes and settles in the mind very nicely. And then you are going to one day, by doing this japa, one day you are going beyond this Sanskrit language as such and go into what the Bija mantra represents. That idea level, your mind has to go. So idea level is one thing, thought level is another, and then word level is another. That's why we have to be silently do this japa. Second reason they say, when you tell japa outside, some people may not be conducive to your spiritual welfare and they will make folk fun.
Yeah.
And when they poke fun of the mantras and then you get disillusioned, disappointed, disheartened, and then what you'll do? You will leave the japa itself. So it is better not to tell outside of your group either mantra to anybody. That's why Guru says keep it secret.
Got it, Maharaj. Thank you. And there are a few more questions still.
Yes. Quickly. Next whom you are calling?
Nalini, I think. Nalini Abhishanda.
Yes, Nalini is from Bangalore. Yes.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste.
Just now you were telling about Bangalore Ashrama, Mother's Rock, where Mother came and made meditation and stayed here for 3 days, no Swamiji?
Yes.
With your permission, can I share one incident, a very popular incident?
Yes, please.
Once on Mother Jayanti, holiday, a long queue was there to visit the Holy Mother's Rock. All devotees were there standing in queue and going to pranam, making pranam for Mother, and they are returning. One small child also was there in the queue.
Okay.
And all of them, that child was repeatedly going to Mother and coming back to her parents. Then she is going to Mother, then coming back to her parents.
Yes.
Her mother scolded that child. Why are you doing like that? Stay in one place. She scolded that child. Then that small child told, within 5 years child, Maharaj, that small child told, one lady is sitting there. When everyone goes and sit there and bow their head and make pranam, she is taking her hand and keeping on their head. Frequently this is going on. She said like that, Swamiji. This is one very famous incident, and these incidents take more high level devotion about Mother, Swamiji. Exactly. So I want to share that.
Very good.
Yes, Swamiji.
See, you have shared this beautiful incident that gives us great joy, as well as the impetus. Whenever we go to Bangalore, we must go and see the rock.
Yes, Swamiji.
Important item in our itinerary.
Yes, Swamiji. And whenever we bow down to Mother, and we can imagine that she is putting her hand on our head.
Yes. Wonderful.
That makes me very happy, and thank you for giving this opportunity, Swamiji.
Thank you, Nalini. Great experience.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Next.
Alpana Ghosh, would you like to ask?
And Nalini, whenever you speak, just put on your video also, so that everybody knows that Nalini is speaking.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes, Alpana. Alpana is from Ranchi.
You have to unmute yourself, Alpana.
Sorry. I am from Ranchi, and my question is on japa only. And this japa, about this japa, I heard in Singapore only. And one Swamiji came from somewhere else, and that was a celebration day, and he gave a big lecture on japa. And he said there are 3 types of japa. One is audible, boikhori. Second is inaudible, only the person who is doing, he can listen, upangshu. And the third is manas jap. And out of 3, the manas jap is the best. I heard this, but after some time, when I came after many years, 2-3 years, when I get up in the morning, I can feel that japa is going on automatically in my mind. What is this? What is this, Bharat?
Yes. So the 3 types of japa you said, very beautiful. Vachik, Upanshu, and Manasik. These are the japa is classified into 3. There is nothing wrong in doing vachik. Suppose I am alone. I can say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. I can chant. Is it not? Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We chant that vachik. So vachik also is useful. But the initiated mantra, if you tell it outside, then happens, the dangers are there of ridicule. That's why we say that we keep it secret. Now, that is vachik, and upanshu is only you will hear, not others. And then manasik. Manasik is the best. Swami Vivekananda says in Raja Yoga that manasik japam is utkrishta, is the best, he says. So he doesn't discount the other 2 ways of japa. Now, after doing continuous practice of japa, manasik japa, a stage comes in your mind, as I told you, it stays the mind, in the subconscious mind, the japa mantra starts clearing process. At that clearing process, you go into sleep, you wake up. When you wake up, the mantra is automatically coming to your mind. So that is called ajapa japa stage. So that also, many cannot reach that stage because they are still practicing japa only. So outside only they are practicing. So it is a very high stage. This is available either due to your past punya karma in the past birth, where you have already practiced japa a lot, so that has come to you very easily, or in this birth itself, you have been practicing continuously. Then that stage can come.
Maharaj, I think it is your guidance by which I could achieve this.
Oh, no praise for me. Thus I am now nobody here. It's all God's grace, you see, Mother's grace. If you are getting success in the spiritual life, it is a grace of the Holy Trio. We are only just coming and giving you props, that's all. Yes? Anybody else? Otherwise I can ask. Satyajit is there. Any observation, Satyajit? No. Okay.
প্রণাম মহারাজ, রীতা রয়েছে।
Oh, Rita acho, acha, ঠিক আছে।
Now, we are hearing for so many years, so many lectures and guidance, but how much we could practice, that only at the end of the life we will come to know.
Yes,
so that's why there is no more question.
Yes, none of these are new matter for the spiritual aspirants. They are all known. We have all heard, but still we hear again and again sometimes. Yes.
Yeah, and it helps us to move forward.
Yes, that's all.
Yes.
Nalini's hand is still up, raised. So, Nalini, do you have any more questions or any more observations? Or I think Maharaj will be tired by now. It's 1.5 hours.
No, any questions.
Okay.
Just sort like that. Okay, thank you.
Yes, so then Maharaj, will you close the session because it's 1.5 hours and you will have to also go for your arati?
Yes. So, Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Durga to everyone. We shall meet in this class next month.